How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring the Holland, the legendary tier pan-European destroyer. Holland is a destroyer that I kind of enjoy playing. It's not very good, but it's just kind of fun to play every now and then. And we've kind of gone through a lot of builds with this ship, and now with a lot of other gunboats with a lot of utility. Uh, just simply being a torp boat isn't really good enough. So we've kind of moved towards a gunboat build where we kind of want to use our main guns as much as possible, and then these fast torpedoes, ideally we can land a couple that ends up giving them a flood, they damage con, and then our main guns set them on permafires. That's the idea anyway with what we're trying to do with the Holland, as this Yamato is pushing in. It seems like he does want to shoot at us though, which is kind of funny. More often than not, Yamatos don't want to shoot at destroyers, especially the ones that are full HP, and that's probably why there was just no shells that hit us, which is pretty funny. Super narrow spreads, we're able to land a couple of torpedoes on the Yamato, although our fire kind of lined up with when those torpedoes showed up, and now we're just slightly out of range. We are trying to set him on fire now though, because he definitely damage conned since our fire is no longer there. We start pushing back in to try and set him on fire. Yamato is trying to reverse away, and there is just more torpedoes for this Yamato to worry about now. We set his bow on fire, he eats a torpedo, he's definitely flooding, and now he's just going to start eating a lot of dot damage. We're trying to get another fire, although we have to be careful because fight fire with fire is probably going to bail him out if we're not careful and set him on too many fires. Yamato trying to reverse away, fire chance just doesn't seem to want to work with us here. We get our second fire, actually we get our second and third fire, so we know that fight fire has probably procced. Then we set our fourth fire, and ideally we probably should just switch over to AP to deal the most damage that we possibly can on him while he's reversing away, especially already seeing that there is two fires, but only one of those is actually mine. We switch to AP to try and see if we can get some pens in his upper belt and superstructure, because ideally then we can actually deal a lot more damage instead of just shattering, trying to hit his superstructure, as we're just not paying attention and we end up hitting the only island that we possibly could have hit out in the open on this side of the map. But it is what it is. Enemy Yamato goes down to our friendly, unfortunately, and we're not able to pick up the kill. But enemy flank at sea, it's not looking really good for our team. Our team has kind of folded, but we have done a decent amount of damage. We have one stack of our reload mod. Although our engine boost is about to run out, which honestly isn't great. Holland without engine boost is really slow. So now for us to get back into the battle to where we kind of need to be to deal with the enemy destroyers is just simply going to take us a lot longer. So we're just going to try to get there as fast as we possibly can. But yeah, there's going to probably be a whole lot of battle that happens, hoping that our team can survive long enough for us to get somewhere where we can deal with the two destroyers still alive. Otherwise, well, our team is just simply going to get steamrolled. Enemy daring is spotted, does have half of his HP. I'm hoping somebody can at least like dev strike him or something. Not really paying attention to this battleship. Not really sure where he's going though. There's nothing in their spawn, so I don't know why he's still sailing in that direction. Ideally he would have just simply turned in and went towards the enemies, but I guess you can't expect all teammates to have a clue of what they should and shouldn't be doing. But now he's kind of sailing off in the direction of the enemy spawn, and just simply going to take that much longer because he is probably going to end up going around all of these islands as well. Trying to get into ACAP, I mean ideally we would have been able to get this objective. Having so many teammates in there, I'm hoping we're still able to. Not sure if anything's getting reset. Actually, our friendly battleship did get reset, and in fact he did get killed off. This isn't looking very good. We have a fairly large points deficit. We have we're losing on ships as well. They still have one more alive, and then on top of that, our friendly destroyer didn't even attempt to go to the other side to do anything, and he just came in lemming behind us. But now, Daring gets spotted. I just start taking pot shots over the island, hoping to do any sort of damage that can possibly finish him off. Uh, because trying to deal with the Daring while there's still one more destroyer that's alive, which is an enemy Shima that I think has sailed into our spawn, is going to be a problem. Because we don't want to lose that much HP to a Daring, especially because of its DPM, its sonar, its smoke, and with how much things there still are alive. There's a pretty good chance that something touches us just enough that either the Daring or Shima can finish us off, which is something that we don't really want to happen if we want to win, considering how much we're losing by already. Our friendly cruiser in our spawn is also about to go down. Enemy Shima has been chasing him. He's spotted. Not much that he can do. I just start dumping my torps for that Yamato, hoping that one of these salvos of torps lands, considering we see some of the Shima torps showing up. I'm hoping he kind of reverses away or just thinks he's safe and maybe he eats our torpedoes, but we're trying to go after the Shima. He was briefly spotted full HP, so we kind of need all of our health to deal with him, especially with all of these battleships actually pushing in. Considering they're pushing in, chances are they will take a pot shot at us and probably chunk us pretty good, which is not something we want to have to deal with. Enemy Yamato pulled forward just enough so our torpedoes are unfortunately going to miss. And now there is a Colombo and another battleship behind him that's going to be a big problem, especially with the Shima basically being right next to us. And then also the Daring is also still alive, so if he had a heal, he probably healed up to maybe 1.5 bars, and that's not looking really good for our health, even though we are full HP. But we're just going to try to get to a position that we can torp these battleships. I'm assuming they're going to angle towards our friendly cruiser that is still alive, at least. At least that's what I'm hoping, and then I can get to the broadside of these battleships. Friendly Z-52, strangely he didn't want to deal with the Daring or a Shima, but he does take out the Yamato at least to kind of help our ship's deficit here. But yeah, it's not looking really good. We haven't really done anything this whole match except farm that Yamato. Our team has been dying all around us. There's not much that we can do. But at this point, I mean, we still have 2 destroyers as long as I stay alive, and as long as our Z-52 stays alive, there should be a pretty good chance that we can win this. Colombo starting to turn in towards our friendly cruiser because he's probably going to go and try and chase him instead. I'm pretty sure these guys think that the enemy, or that our friendly Z-52 is what's spotting him, so we are kind of undetected here. It's kind of what we need to do. If we can finish off this Colombo, then that gives us a chance to push in and deal with the enemy Shimakaze, as well as the enemy Daring, depending on wherever he decided to go. Another enemy battleship just shows up full HP. Not ideal. Not ideal. It's a Preußen. Preußen is very accurate. The Cap still did get captured. And, well, I mean, I'm sure there is a destroyer right in front of us. We kind of need to deal with this, whatever DD is in here. Hopefully we can torp the Preußen in the process. But it's not looking very good for us right now. The points lead, still about 150. And, well, our Z-52 has to kind of run away. Trying to stalk this Preußen. Ideally we could get close enough where we can torpedo him. But as soon as we're in any sort of interesting spot to torpedo him, Daring shows up. Luckily, he is low enough. He did heal though, which did kind of suck, but he was still low enough that our gunboat Holland could still do enough damage and finish him off. A is getting captured, so we now know where the enemy Shimakaze ran off to, and now we're just going to keep going and stalking the Preußen. We take a look at the enemy Daring's torpedo tubes just to see if they were facing the direction that we are in. If you don't know, when a ship is using his torpedoes, the tubes will turn just like the turrets, and when they die, the torp tubes will still face that direction. So it was kind of just one of those things. When we can see that the torps aren't facing in our direction, then we know we are good and we can still survive and not really have to worry about any torpedoes. And yeah, at this point, we're just trying to get into a position where we can kind of get something done. Enemy Preußen now going off to chase our friendly Z-52. I'm kind of hoping the Preußen turns in towards where our friendly cruiser was, especially trying to go and get the cap. But we do need to worry about the Shimakaze. I also don't have Perceptive or Twist and Track, so I don't really know where he is, which honestly isn't great, because if he just decides to run away, then there might be no chance for us to find him. Although if we keep playing the objective, we might end up forcing his hand to kind of go and do something, and then play the objective, and then we can run into him and I guess ideally find him. Enemy Preußen ate a couple of torpedoes. Preußen does have that 15-second damage con compared to GK's 8, so we tried to wait as long as we could, and ideally we could try to set him on fire. Hopefully Z-52 can get him spotted while we farm over the island. But also, main thing, we did get the resets in. So at least now he's not going to, I guess, cap the objective nearly as quickly. We fire our guns and get spotted. So we know the Shima's somewhere, and the Shima does decide to start firing at us as well. But luckily for us, we do have a gunboat build, so we should ideally out DPM this 3-bar Shimakaze. And all we really have to do is try to throttle jockey as much as we can, maybe take some cover from the enemy Preußen. But then our internet decides to have us do some funny rubber banding as we just zoom backwards at light speed, which probably could have gotten us killed. Luckily the lag spike kind of just barely touched us a little bit, otherwise I think we would have died to those torpedoes. Like, we had the connection, I guess, reconnect barely in time. Shima whiffs all of his torpedoes, and then there's another lag spike. But that lag spike, we ended up killing off the Shima. I don't know what's going on in this match. It was just really weird, especially the timing, trying to claw this back, and then all of a sudden the game starts making us lag, and then almost makes us die and basically lose the match. Like, that would have just absolutely sucked with how much we had to do, how much we were trying to find our opportunity to do something. But enemy Preußen eats a couple torpedoes, he damage cons, we don't get a flood. But now it's time to just try to farm him over the island while the Z-52 keeps him spotted. So we're just simply going to reverse a little bit, try to keep the island in between us and Preußen. We're just going to farm him as much as we can. Probably would have been smarter if we stopped shooting here, and then we could have also got the objective. But unfortunately, we don't get the objective. We get touched a little bit, but we do set him on fire, and at this point that's a perma-fire. He's dead either way, whether it's to the fire or Z-52 just trying to finish him off at the very end. But yeah, we clawed this one back. It was a pretty close match, but luckily we, well, one, didn't lag into those torpedoes, and two, played patiently and didn't overextend and chose our fights, especially trying to kill off the battleships that were around the destroyers. Because if we tried to fight the Daring while that Colombo was still alive, we definitely would have died. Also, maybe if we got the objective, this would have been a 4K, possibly. But yeah, unfortunate. We were just trying to simply kill him off, although we didn't really have a whole lot of time. And yeah, Preußen, we did have to kill him off to win, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Gunboat Holland, probably the, I don't know about better, but a little more effective way to play, because then you're relying on guns, which are a lot more reliable than torpedoes. Because there's so many things that could spot torpedoes, and the tiniest adjustments will probably throw off your torpedo. And that's why torpedo accuracy obviously is not great across every destroyer. That's why I don't really enjoy Shima trying to rely only on torpedoes. Just doesn't work out nearly as often as being able to rely on your guns. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and share with your friends, or leave a comment down below for other ships you want to see in the future. But anyway guys, till next time, aloha.